According to the United Nations, specifically UNESCO, there are four skills that UNESCO say once you possess these skills, rest assured your job will not be taken over by machines, artificial intelligence, robotics, AI, etc. What are these four skills? I'm going to speak more on one of the components of one of the skills, but just let me do a rundown of the skills. Number one is collaboration skill. Number one is communication skill. Number two, collaboration skill. Number three, critical thinking skill. Number four, it's a creativity skill. But today, I want to speak about a component of communication skill. Communication skill can be largely divided into verbal communication and textual communication. And then today I want to speak about verbal communication, specifically public speaking. Public speaking is a feared enterprise in the Western world. And there was even a research within the realm of communication in the United States that an average American is scared of public speaking. Even it was also likened, public speaking was likened to the fear of a terrorist attack, that the brain panicked almost the same way when there is a terrorist attack or when there's public speaking. The panic in the brain is almost the same. The way the brain reacts when these two are announced is close. And even in Nigeria here, at the time I had the opportunity of training somebody on public speaking in one of the big federal government agencies. And he told me, he said, "Sir, do you know why I'm taking this course with you?" I said, "No, sir." He said, there was a time my boss told me that I will have to train my subordinates across the country, and they were putting them together. He said, "Sir, I suffered from almost every form of sickness you can imagine. I had malaria, I had typhoid, I had headache, I had fever, I had all of them." Why? Because the brain panicked, because this particular gentleman will be speaking in front of a very large audience of professionals, and he panicked. And this particular fear is called stage fright. That's what we all know it to be. However, the technical name for stage fright is glossophobia. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. And one thing I want you to understand is that we have, according to psychologists, we have more than 400 types of phobias. We have somniphobia, we have aquaphobia, we have lots of phobias. And one of those phobia is glossophobia. You know, the greatest fear amongst all of them, the greatest phobia among all these forms of phobia is glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. People panic when you tell them that they will be speaking in front of a very large audience. And now in the digital world where we have billion people on the internet, people also panic when you even put a phone to them that you want to record them. And also, now that we have lots of people on cable, either terrestrial or non-terrestrial on television, camera in front of somebody that used to speak very smoothly, you see them that they start stuttering, they start stammering, they start to fidget, their hands start shaking, they start sweating, their legs start shaking, even their heart start panting. All these are symptoms of stage fright. They are all symptoms of glossophobia. So in this particular episode, I will be sharing two ideas or two strategies for you to combat glossophobia. However, in the subsequent episodes, I might share more techniques for you to combat glossophobia. Public speaking is something we cannot do without. People like Lisa Nichols, Martin Luther King, even Barack Obama were all fantastic speakers, notable speakers in the world. People like Malcolm X. Malcolm X was in the prison, and in the prison, he was even unschooled as of that time. He mastered the dictionary, and he became one of the most renowned speakers in the 20th century. And speaking moves from the information. You can be an informational speaker where all you do is just to teach. You teach people, you dish out information. You can also move from being an information speaker to be an inspirational speaker, where you inspire people to act in a certain way. And you can also move from there to be a motivational speaker. You motivate people to act, and you can get to the peak and become a transformational leader. For all the prophets that are sent by God, they were all transformational leaders. The speakers, they were able to transform people just by speaking to them. And one of the writers likened even public speaking to witchcraft. Because when you envelope somebody with your speech, you can make them act in a certain way that you want them to act. And one of those who have used this particular thing effectively was even the Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a fantastic speaker, and he made the Germans, he made them to believe in his ideas, and all of them, they followed him when he was, most of them followed him when he was going to battle. He was able to motivate them. He was able to inspire them. He was able to transform them from being weak. He made them felt very strong, quite strong, and that is the power of public speaking. Even those that are indoctrinated, terrorist groups, you say this person was indoctrinated, they are indoctrinated with the lips, with the tongue. They are indoctrinated from the speeches made by those who try to indoctrinate them. This is how powerful public speaking is. Another powerful thing is you cannot manage people, you cannot be an efficient manager, you cannot be an efficient leader without having the power to motivate people. If you check even those that got us independence, people like Zeke, people like Ahmadu Bello, people like Awolowo, they were all fantastic leaders because they were able to make people come around a certain goal. And if you check the sources of power that we have source of power, military power is the source of power, we have economical power is the source of power, we have political power, it's a source of power. We also have charismatic power. Those people that their charisma, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak, is what makes people attracted to them. And by this, people, they will do whatever they want them to do. Why? Because they know how to speak. And you can just check within your own circle, some of the fantastic, fluent leaders, eloquent leaders, that when they speak like the rattle of the gun. When they dish out information and you are moved. Currently, people are attracted to people like Mufti Menk. Why? Because they know how to speak. People are attracted to people like Imam Omar Suleiman. Why? Because they know how to speak. People are attracted to Ustad Abubakar Sadiq. Why? Because he knows how to speak. He speaks fluently. People are attracted to a host of people, Professor Patrice Lumumba. People are attracted to him. People are attracted to Malcolm X. Why? Because you are moved by his speeches. Even in terms of our scholars, you just check them. Professor Isa Ali Pantami, people are moved by his speech. Sheikh Bin Uthman, people are moved by his speech. Sheikh Abdurrahman Ahmad, people are moved by his speeches. Why? Because they've mastered the art of public speaking. And these people are the most powerful people in the country. Even somebody like the Nobel laureate, Wole Soyinka, when you read what he has written, it motivates you, it moves you. And when you also listen to him, he speaks fantastically well. This is the art of mastering the art of speaking to people. And this is a very powerful tool that you need to inculcate. This is a very powerful tool you need to learn about. This is a very powerful tool you can use to make your way. Now we have presentations being made, we have courses being made just from public speaking. So this is something parents should be attracted to make their children inculcate. This is something, even as adults, we also need to also imbibe this particular culture. And you cannot be a good marketer if you are not also good in public speaking. So marketing is linked to public speaking. You can also not be a good negotiator without being a good public speaker. So negotiation is also linked to public speaking. You can also be persuasive if you are unable to persuade people with your speech. So there are a lot of fields that are connected. You can't be a fantastic lawyer if you are not a fantastic public speaker. You cannot be a fantastic psychologist if you are not a good public speaker. You cannot even be a good doctor if you are also not a good public speaker. Probably as a surgeon, you might not need to be a public speaker. However, doctors also learn how to speak. They need to break sad news. They need to give you good news. They need to give you hope even when your case is hopeless. This is all arts and tricks of public speaking. So in next episode, I will give you about 3 to 4 strategies on how to combat glossophobia, stage fright. But this episode is just for me to establish to you that one of the major, most important skills you need to inculcate in the 21st century is the art of public speaking. And you need to learn from those who are good at it. You also need to learn from a structured environment. There are lots of exams now that you have to take. And even if you, like Schwarzman scholarship in China, before you can apply, you need to do a 2-3 minutes video to be uploaded. So a lot of scholarships that you'll be applying for, they need you to speak so that they can also check your speaking or your oration skill. So public speaking will limit you and limit your potential if you do not learn it and if you do not apply it. It is true that some people are born speakers. However, the art of public speaking is also something that can be learned. It is something that you can go and acquire the skill of public speaking. And it is something you should be attracted to all the time to unleash on people that you actually know what you're saying. And don't forget, in my previous episodes, I've mentioned the art of reading. If you don't read and you are good in public speaking, you will be saying nonsense. So you need to have content by reading, and you need public speaking to unveil the knowledge, to unclose the knowledge to the world. Till I meet you in the next episode in giving you 4 techniques on how to combat stage fright. Stay blessed.
Ramadan Mubarak.